What if the very moment you draw your last breath is not an ending, but an unimaginable beginning? I'm Sarah Michelle Carter. I was 43, a mom, a wife, a nurse from Greenville, South Carolina, living a life I thought was ordinary. Then, on the morning of February 17th, while putting on mascara, a sudden searing pain shot through my head. An undiagnosed brain aneurysm had burst. I died in my bathroom. But what I saw, what I was shown in the 27 minutes I was clinically dead, changed not only my life but my understanding of our collective future. The journey I'm about to share is deeply personal, yet its message, I believe, is for everyone. Stay with me because what was revealed to me in that place beyond our world needs to be heard. Life was full. 2 teenage daughters, a husband, Tom, I'd been married to for nearly 20 years. 15 years as a nurse at the local hospital meant long shifts, always rushing, often tired. We went to church most Sundays, a familiar rhythm. But that morning, February 17th, the rhythm shattered. One minute I was getting ready for work, mascara wand in hand, thinking about the day ahead. The next, an explosion of pain like lightning striking inside my skull. I remember grabbing the bathroom sink, the world tilting crazily. Then a distinct thud. That was my body hitting the tile floor. It was a sound I heard, yet somehow I was no longer just in that body. The ordinary had just become utterly extraordinary in the most terrifying and then most profound way. It was the strangest sensation. I saw my body lying there so still. My hand was inches from my phone on the counter. If only I could reach it. But I couldn't make my body respond. Yet there was no panic, just a detached observation. I even noticed the bathroom light flickering, a small repair we'd been meaning to get to. And then everything shifted. The bathroom, my home, it all just dissolved, like mist in the morning sun. I was moving, drawn through what felt like a tunnel made of the purest, warmest light imaginable. It wasn't blinding, it was alive, welcoming. Every worry I'd ever carried, every stress, every fear just melted away. An indescribable peace washed over me. And in that peace I realized I wasn't alone. He stood before me. Jesus. Not like the solemn figures in paintings with a distant gaze. This was pure light, shaped like a person, yet his face was so clear. His eyes, they held the weight of eternity, but also a tenderness so profound it's hard to describe. It was as if he knew every mistake I'd ever made, every hidden thought, yet loved me completely, unconditionally. Sarah, he said my name, and it wasn't just a sound. It was like music that surrounded me, filled me from within. I wasn't in my body, so I didn't have physical tears, but this overwhelming emotion, this feeling of being truly seen for the first time ever, washed through me. Lord, I whispered, though I had no voice. I wasn't ready. He smiled, a smile that held more love than I've felt in my entire lifetime. I know, he said, but I needed you to see. He reached out his hand, and as I took it, we weren't in that place of light anymore. We were floating above America. I could see the entire country, a living map below us. Watch, he said. And the map began to change. I saw darkness like ink spreading in water, covering certain cities. Other places glowed with an intense light. I saw churches, some blazing with brightness, vibrant and alive, others dim, barely visible, their light fading. What's happening? I asked. His voice wasn't scary, but it was serious. This is what's coming. America stands at a crossroads. Then scenes flashed before me like a movie. People fighting in the streets. Real, brutal violence, neighbor against neighbor. I saw churches with their doors chained shut. Bibles being removed from homes. People praying in secret, afraid. This isn't some far-off future, Jesus explained. This is already beginning. He showed me families torn apart over politics. I specifically saw images related to President Trump. Some people treating him like a savior, others like a demon. Neither is right, Jesus said sadly. They have put men in my place. This division isn't just political. It's spiritual. There was so much hatred. But then he showed me something else. Little points of light, scattered across the land. Individuals praying in their homes, small groups meeting secretly, healing happening, love breaking through in the most unlikely places. The darkness looks stronger, he said, but my light always prevails. He took me closer, and I could see into people's hearts. So many were empty, chasing things that didn't matter: phones, money, approval, fleeting pleasures but hollow inside. My children have forgotten how to hear my voice, Jesus said. They listened to so many other voices instead. I watched as people stared at screens that fed them fear and anger, hour after hour, like poison poured directly into their souls, and they kept drinking it willingly. This is the real war, Jesus told me. Not the one they think they're fighting. He showed me what looked like a calendar, its pages flipping rapidly. I couldn't see specific dates, but I understood he was showing me that time was short. Something was coming to America, a shaking, a trial unlike anything we've ever seen. Will this lead to the end? I asked, my mind racing with prophecies of revelation. This is a purifying, he answered. Many will return to me through this. Others will harden their hearts further. I saw people I knew, family members who don't know Jesus, and my heart broke for them. What can I do? I begged him. Please let me help them. That's when Jesus showed me the incredible power of prayer. He let me see my own prayers as golden threads, extending from heaven to earth, wrapping around my loved ones. One specific prayer I'd prayed for my daughter had literally blocked a dark spirit that was trying to influence her. I had no idea. Your prayers matter more than you realize, Jesus said. One sincere prayer can change a nation's destiny. He showed me people fasting and praying together, and it looked like they were building a shield of light over their communities. Then, he showed me how distracted most Christians have become. Too busy, too comfortable, too entertained to pray with real power. I saw Christians arguing over small, insignificant things while missing the bigger spiritual battle raging around them. Churches focused on buildings and programs, while people were spiritually dying right outside their doors. Tell them what you've seen, Jesus said, his voice urgent. Wake them up. Time is short. And then, he showed me what would happen if enough people genuinely turned back to him. An entirely different future for America. Revival, healing, forgiveness between groups who now hate each other. It was beautiful, breathtaking. I wanted to stay with him so badly. The peace, the love, the acceptance in his presence. There are no human words for it. The thought of going back to my broken world, my limited, aching body seemed impossible. Please, I begged, don't send me back. I don't want to leave you. Jesus took my hands in his. His gaze was full of compassion. Sarah, he said gently, your daughters need you. Your husband needs you. And there are people who will only hear this message through you. Tears, or the spiritual equivalent, filled my eyes. Will anyone even believe me? I asked, the doubt creeping in. Some will, he said. Some won't. But speak anyway. I felt myself being pulled back, away from his radiant light, back through that tunnel. I didn't want to go. I reached for him. Remember, his voice followed me, growing fainter. Prayer changes everything. Tell them while there's still time. Then pain. Horrible, crushing pain. Bright hospital lights blinded me. Beeping machines, voices shouting. She's back. We've got a rhythm. My body felt like lead, everything hurt. I could hear the doctors, their voices filled with amazement. Someone said I'd been clinically dead for 27 minutes. No detectable brain activity, they kept repeating, unable to believe I was awake, let alone talking. My husband Tom was there, his eyes red from crying. My girls too, looking terrified and relieved. When I tried to tell them what happened, the words wouldn't come out right. I just kept saying, I saw him. I saw Jesus. He showed me what's coming. The doctor later said I was confused from oxygen deprivation, that NDEs are just hallucinations, dying brain cells creating visions. But I know what I saw. It wasn't a dream. It was more real than anything I've experienced in this life. It's been months since that day. The doctors have no medical explanation for my complete recovery. No brain damage, no lasting physical effects. They call it a medical miracle. But I know it wasn't just about saving my physical life. It was about the message. So here I am telling anyone who will listen. Sometimes I wake up at night, those visions of America's future replaying in my mind, and I just start praying. I've never prayed like this before, with such urgency, such clarity. What Jesus showed me wasn't meant to scare us into paralysis. It was a warning given out of profound love, like a parent warning their child about a dangerous road ahead. The America we know is changing, and the division, the turmoil we see now, he said, is just the beginning if we don't turn back to God. Not to a political party, not to a human leader, not to Trump or anyone else, but to Jesus himself. He showed me how the enemy has tricked so many into putting their faith in people and systems instead of in God. How Christians fight political battles with fervor while neglecting the deeper spiritual ones. How we've traded heartfelt prayer for posts on social media, thinking we're making a difference when we're often just adding to the noise. This experience has fundamentally changed me. It's not just about praying more. It's about how I pray, why I pray, and how I see the world. It's about understanding where the real battle lies. If you take anything from my story, let it be this: your prayers have more power than you can possibly imagine. That small conscious choice to turn off your phone, to quiet the noise of the world, and to truly talk to God might literally change the course of events, for your family, for your community, for our nation. I saw it. Our nation's future hangs in the balance, but it's not ultimately decided by who sits in the White House. It's decided by whether God's people will wake up, return to their first love, and embrace their true calling. Jesus is calling his church back to himself, back to fervent prayer, back to loving each other across every divide, back to being a radiant light in an increasingly dark world. I shouldn't be alive, but I am, because there's a message that needs to be heard. America's future can look dark, perhaps worse than many think, but in Jesus there is always hope, always a way back, always a light that the darkness cannot and will not overcome. What are your thoughts on this incredible near-death experience? Share your reflections in the comments below. If this story touched you or made you think, please consider sharing it with others who might find comfort or insight. For more profound stories and explorations into what lies beyond, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss what's next.